Summer. It's what a kid dreams about for 9 months of the year. School is out, which means there's more time to spend with friends, more time to eat sweet treats, and maybe even more time to get in trouble. However, for 13-year-old Zach Frazee, summer means more time for baseball.
It's a lot of fun to me. Getting a double, a triple, anything just feels good to me.
We just get a lot of joy out of just watching him hit the ball, watching him interact with other kids, and watching his growth as a player all these years.
Zach as a player brings a lot of energy to the dugout. Always very, very gracious, very high-spirited, great baseball player, great athlete.
It's not daddy ball. I don't coach. So everything that he's accomplished is through himself.
Zach's impressive skill set earned him a spot on the Deer Park All-Star team. In the lineup, he's the leadoff hitter, and in the field, he's a Swiss Army knife. He can play anywhere, and he can play it well. And on July 8th, Zach and his team had the chance to showcase their talents in the scrimmage against the NASA All-Star team.
It was a beautiful evening, wind was blowing, sun was out.
A normal day for us, we just went to the field, we got there early, we sat there, we were visiting with other parents. Everything was just normal.
It was a nice day.
Zach was enjoying a normal summer day like every kid should. He was living his dream of a perfect summer. He was having fun doing the thing that he loved. Unfortunately, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare.
I looked at the catcher, he gave me a fastball sign. I nodded yes, like I'm gonna throw the pitch. I don't know what it was, I threw inside and he leaned over the plate and he didn't pull back.
I saw the pitch coming towards me, and normally you're turning your shoulder to get the pitch off on your back, but I thought I'd be able to back up in time, and then it curved into my chest.
He threw the bat down and started to move towards first base, but he looked very different.
Zach's been hit 100 times by a ball. Okay, it's nothing new. It wasn't until he started jogging to first base and wobbling that I thought something was wrong.
And I started jogging to first base, and then I just collapsed.
Thinking what happened to him, because I had no idea. I was just oblivious to what happened.
I stood up, I started screaming. I felt something was terribly wrong. My husband Michael started going down the bleachers. All the coaches had already run out there.
So I got over to the field. Zach was still on his stomach. We flipped him over. It was very obvious there was no life in him. Didn't even know what to do.
I started getting emotional and thinking that it was my fault because I threw the pitch. And if I didn't throw that pitch, then that wouldn't have happened. So that was kind of what was going through my head.
I was in shock because I really thought I lost him. It was the hardest day of my life. Seeing your child on the ground, not breathing, it's tough.
Then comes in Don Sweeney. Sweeney has been CPR trained ever since 1990 when he went through EMT training. His first instinct when he saw Zach collapse, go help.
When I got there and we flipped him over and he, obviously wasn't breathing and I immediately felt for a pulse and we didn't have one. So in my mind that time it just kicked into adrenaline gear. I really don't know that I thought anything other than it's go time.
Sweeney's heroic efforts worked. After 2 minutes of CPR, Zach was awake and breathing again. He was back to his old self.
I felt a big breath come back in my mouth and he kind of opened his eyes and it was the best sight I've ever seen. When he opened his eyes, it was funny. I looked at him and I said, you know where you are? And he looked at me and said, yes, sir. And I said, do you know your name? And he said, yes, sir. And I said, what's your name? And he said, Zach. And I just told him, welcome back.
He was asking me, am I okay? And he was touching me and saying, do I feel this? Do I feel that?
And then all of a sudden he said, did I make it to first base? That's when I knew that he was back.
Once we got him back, he seemed fine. As a matter of fact, he asked me, can I get up and run the bases? And I just told him, I said, man, I think your night's done, brother.
From the field, Zach was taken to Clear Lake Regional Hospital and was later transported to Texas Children's due to heart concerns. A team of cardiologists monitored Zach's heart enzymes and EKGs, as well as his overall progress. The diagnosis? Commotio cordis. There's little data or case studies about this trauma, as there's normally not a survivor.
They told him and they told us how lucky he was to be sitting there, that they don't see kids come out of this alive.
It really happens in 98% of young males from the age of 10 to 18. And the reason why is their chest wall's not fully formed yet. The ball has to hit at a specific angle, at a specific rate of speed, and within a 20 millisecond window of when your heart is going from the transition from the heartbeat to rest. So it's a really, really, really rare phenomenon. Matter of fact, there's only been 188 cases reported since 1982, I think I read. So it's a very, very rare phenomenon. I pray to God I never see it again, and the odds say we won't.
After Zach was taken home, the Frazee family wanted to thank Sweeney in a much less stressful situation, as they all agreed to meet up.
I just kind of remember that we were playing our regional tournament in Deer Park, so I said, hey, we're going to be there on Saturday up in Deer Park. That'd be a great time for us to meet.
I just hugged him and said thank you, and I really appreciate what you did, and you saved him, and all I could say was thank you.
Meeting him in person was very surreal for me. It healed a lot of wounds that I had, which is kind of weird to say because that whole week afterwards I was really, really feeling weird about what happened. You just project the what ifs. What if I wouldn't have been there? What if I would have done CPR and it didn't work? What if we were unsuccessful? What if the parents had to bury their child? It really kind of gnawed on me the entire week until I met him. I got better each day, but until I met him and saw him standing there and smiling and hugging me, and it was a weird feeling. I couldn't explain why.
I was just lucky to be there and lucky that Don Sweeney was there.
So many people have told him, you have something big in life. God wants something. God has more for you. You have more to do because you're still here and you shouldn't be.
I think God puts you in places for a reason, and there was an angel on my shoulder and obviously an angel on Zach's shoulder that night.
He's an angel. He saved Zach's life.
I could lose everything. I could turn everything over to have my family okay and alive and healthy and safe, and it means everything.
How many lives did Sweeney save that day?
A bunch.
If he wasn't there and what he did, I wouldn't be here today.
I feel like new sunglasses, like a brand new pair of jeans. I feel like taking chances. I feel a lot like 17. I feel like windows roll down new city streets and cabs. I feel like anything can happen, laughing. You take me right back when we were kids. Never thought I'd feel like this. Like when I close my eyes.